Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox. Ironically, Doritos and gaming have been a combo in the gaming world for a long time. Mountain Dew and Doritos are a treat synonymous with late night gaming with friends, and I won't lie, I've been there myself. What's funny is that there was a period from 2008 to 2013 when Doritos tried to crash their way into video games through Xbox Live Arcade. Over those 5 years, Doritos marketed 4 Xbox Live Arcade games that were completely free to download. I played all of these back in the day, and I decided to check them out again recently. Let's see if these Doritos games remain a snack or if they've expired. Before we get into it, I want to thank all my YouTube channel members for their support, but without further ado, let's get into it. In 2007, Doritos launched the Unlock Xbox program, a program where Xbox gamers could submit their ideas for Doritos-based games. Many submissions were entered, and 5 concepts were chosen out of over 2,000. Out of the 5 chosen, Flash games were created based on the concept. Those games were available to download on the Unlock Xbox website, and out of them, Doritos Dash of Destruction won after voting from the community. Mike Borland crafted the idea for the game concept due to his love of racing and Doritos. The concept was mixing destruction and racing, with dinosaurs chasing down Doritos delivery trucks. Developer Ninja Bee took over the game's development, and these are the guys who developed the Kefling series and Cloning Clyde, so they had a lot of experience making hits on the Xbox Live Arcade. And by December 17th, 2008, Dash of Destruction hit the Xbox Live Arcade completely free to download. Dash of Destruction is a tiny game with only 6 levels for both of its campaigns, making the grand total time to beat this game around 20 minutes, and that's for every achievement too, because it's an extremely easy 200 gamer score. The game, in its loading screen, even tells you, get your gamer score on. And when I downloaded it back in the day, I got my gamer score and I got out without the game leaving any type of impression on me. And this time I tried playing through it, and you know what? It's kind of fun. Starting with the driver mode, you drive your car in a micro machine top-down view. You speed across the city delivering Doritos to different locations. You do have a certain amount of lives, and that comes into play with the dinosaurs roaming the city. These guys will destroy anything in their path, and they want to eat you. Your goal is to deliver Doritos and avoid dinosaurs. It's easy to understand and goes by extremely fast, with levels only taking a few minutes to complete. It all controls well, and the speed being zippy, and the control of the cars is a lot of fun. It gets tense too later in the game when there's multiple dinosaurs running around on screen, and you have to find the best way to avoid them. It's good for a short burst of fun, and I like that from an arcade title. The other campaign mode is the dinosaur mode. This reverses your roles and has you going around and eating cars. You will be facing off against another dinosaur in a race to eat the most first. You also get to destroy the city with some fun destruction effects and rampage all around. I think the design and look of all of this is good for an arcade game. It's simplistic and colorful, making for something inviting. In my opinion though, the gameplay in this mode is just not as fun as the car mode. The dinosaur doesn't control too well, and the preciseness of eating the tiny cars seems a little too precise. Not that it's bad, it can be a good time, it's just not all that difficult, and you will get this game beaten very quickly. Even though I like the car mode more, it's a fun little game overall, and since it was free, I find it difficult to hate it. I do wish there was more, but this game has a multiplayer mode that will make it 10 times better. I don't think it would last long, but it would be good for a laugh. It does what an Xbox Live Arcade game should do, and it's easy to pick up and play between your games, and it does that. I just don't think there's much reason to even go back to this one after the achievements. The presentation is solid too, and it's a nice quick burst of fun, just not too substantial. I don't think I love it by any means, but I don't think it's horrible either. The next 2 Doritos games wouldn't come out till 2 years later on the Xbox Live Arcade. Doritos held another Unlock Xbox competition in 2009, which was the same idea as the last. Many people would submit their ideas for Xbox Live Arcade games, and 8 were selected. From those 8, 3 won votes from the community, and only 2 moved on to being created. These 2 were released on Xbox Live, and it was voted on who would be the winner and earn $50,000. Out of those two games, the winner was Doritos Crash Course, which was released on December 8th, 2010 for free. It was developed by Behavior Interactive, and I have to say this every time they pop up, and they surprisingly pop up a lot, but when are Doritos coming to Dead by Daylight? One can only hope. Crash Course is inspired by game shows like Ninja Warrior, Sasuke, or Wipeout, where you control your Xbox avatar and run through insane obstacle courses by jumping and sliding your way to victory. The levels are based across the world, with Japan, the US, and the UK being some of the places you go. Simply, Crash Course is just a platformer, but it does control pretty well, and the game show aesthetic is a ton of fun. Inspired heavily by parkour, this game has you threading different moves together to attempt to reach the top of the leaderboards. So you can slide for a while, which leads you into long leaps to get you to higher places, or you have to run fast past obstacles, but you can't run for too long or you slip and fall. It's about speedrunning here, because the faster you get to the end, the better your results will be. It is fairly easy though, and this is another game where every achievement can be earned very quickly, and I always found Crash Course to be a good bit of fun for an advertising game, especially if you like speedrunning platformers. The controls feel spot on, and it's satisfying to shave off extra time because you made a perfect jump somewhere. I think all the added obstacles being slowly added to the game makes it constantly engaging, such as the fans that slowly pop up more and more that allow you to float, or trampolines getting tougher and tougher where you have to be more precise where you jump on it. The only obstacle I was really annoyed by were these sections where it's a giant wall and platforms slowly pop up for you to slowly go over. It completely stops all pacing, which fast pacing is what makes this game work. I don't think the look is very standout either, and the location changes don't vary enough. I would have loved to see more visual variety in this game. The music is cute though, and I love using avatars in video games. I love it when Xbox Live Arcade games add that extra personal touch. And much like Dash of Destruction, there isn't much to do, but there is far more replayability here. The leaderboards are addictive, and the fast controls feel great when you run through these levels over and over. It's also backwards compatible on the series consoles, which is nice, especially because it's free, which I think makes this game just a little bit better, because you get a solid time out of something that costs you nothing but your time. Crash Course is just a solid burst of fun gameplay. The flip side of the 2010 competition was Harm's Way, which was released on the same day as Crash Course. This game was developed by Bongfish, who had only made snowboarding games before this. Harm's Way is a racing game, but its versus style makes it stand out creatively. Harm's Way has you choose two different roles, one as a driver and the other as the shooter. The driving side plays like a traditional racer. You must speed around your opponents in desert locales while picking up nitro boosts to go faster. The controls are fine and very arcadey. I don't love the racing since the environments are a bit bland. There are only 3 maps to choose from, and they all look very similar. It's also quite easy to obtain every achievement and beat this game. It only takes about an hour. The truly entertaining part about this game is the turret mode, which has you trying to shoot down the racers as they go by. With your bumpers, you move around the track to try and gain the upper hand of the other drivers by blowing out their tires or shooting them through the windshield. I love how this game sets you up with some odd angles, so you have to work with it the best you can to destroy enemies. This is a fun mode, especially when you get upgraded weapons like the rocket launcher. It reminds me of Silent Scope. It's very simple, but it's a different take on the racing genre that gives this game the boost it needs. And I played the multiplayer on this one back in the day, and that's what this game is made for. Here you team up with another person. One tries to race and dodge the other team's gunfire, and your teammate will use their turrets to destroy the competition, but you have to be careful because the turrets can shoot each other as well. The driver can also pick up power-ups to upgrade their turret and downgrade the enemy team. The added co-op factor to this game is a blast. Working with a teammate to make your way to the end of your run is a great way to spice up a multiplayer racer. It's highly creative and stands out in this mix of games just by sheer creativity. I do wish, however, that we had more than just desert racetracks and more to do overall. Like the others, since this was a free game, it's hard to rag on a lack of content, it just once again feels a little lacking. It has flaws, and I think the gameplay truly shines in the multiplayer portion. The single player didn't stick with me quite as well, but I think this is one of the true shining stars of the Doritos games and had the best concept to become a fully fledged game.
Windshield kill. Windshield kill. Tire hits.
3 years later, in 2013, we got Doritos Crash Course 2. The original was such a success that they made a sequel. Unfortunately, the footage playing right now is only from the first game because this game is completely unplayable now, and I have no footage of gameplay of my own except for me trying to start up the game. The game was delisted from Xbox Live Arcade in 2014, only a year after its release. Unfortunately, you are required to play this game online, and when this game was delisted, the servers went away too, and you actually can't get past the main menu here. I tried on multiple accounts with Xbox Live enabled and without being online, and no matter what, you can't get in. It's completely unplayable on the 360, which is a shame because I was really excited about this one. I enjoyed it a lot back in the day. I don't like basing my reviews on memories because I kind of have an impressionistic memory and I want to see how it is now. I remember this one delivering on new locales from Egypt to Antarctica, which was nice because the first one didn't really have a visual variety. It also flipped the speed-related gameplay for more of a star collection style like a mobile game, and there were even power-ups that transformed this game into more of a true platformer, but still had an obstacle course feel. I remember liking it better than the first, yet that is just a memory, and I refuse to truly review a game if I haven't played it recently. So this one is just out of the running, and it's a true shame that this game is completely inaccessible nowadays, because I know there's people like me that would love to go back and experience this one again, and I'm actually missing one achievement in this game that I guess I'll never be able to obtain ever again. Let's go ahead and get these games ranked up. Dash of Destruction is going to go on the bottom. It has fun ideas, but it's just not that replayable. It has the least amount of content of the bunch as well. The second is going to be Harm's Way, a solid racer that's best in multiplayer, with the single player racing just being a little lacking. The best of the bunch in my opinion though is Doritos Crash Course, which is a fun little platformer with a great sense of parkour speed. None of these are awful though, and I thought they all did a nice job for free games on the Xbox Live Arcade. And on my ranking list of every Xbox Live Arcade game I've covered on the channel, all 3 games enter in towards the bottom. Dash of Destruction is last because I think all the other games are better, and I don't really like the 360 port of Crazy Taxi, so Crash Course and Harm's Way go above that, but I'd rather replay Keflings over those 2. But that does wrap it up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like as it really helps out my channel. Comment below if you have any memories with any of these Doritos games, or maybe what Xbox Live Arcade games I should cover next. Subscribe to keep up with the retro Xbox content, and I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you here next time at Camp Xbox.